too. Looks like I have a lifeline. I'm gonna make your bitches work.
猫ちゃんたち本当に助かりました。ありがとうございます。本当にありがとうございます。では私はこれで失礼させていただきますね。
Haha, I'm exhausted. I glanced at the organized tableware. I lowered myself into a chair.
ご主人様、冷たいお茶です。どうぞ。
Thanks, Chocola. Don't mind if I do. I downed cold tea in one gulp. Somehow or another, the light meal tableware had arrived. Soon I had to really get the bakery ready for its opening. Did I say I needed any help I could find? And when I really needed help this time, The praise me aura, I could sense it. She had a wide smile on her face and she was in a ready stance to receive my praise. Thanks. This was all thanks to Chocolate and Vanilla for helping me.
ご主人様に褒めてもらっちゃったよ、バニラ。うんうん。柱の陰から見守ってた甲斐があったね。よしよし。ショコラ、ご主人様の役に立てましたね。やっぱりご主人様一人じゃお仕事大変だと思うんです。ね。うんうん。猫の手でも存分に役に立つ。私たちがいなかったらまだ仕分け続行中だと思う。
Now you two are getting a bit too close to me. The two of them leaned forward to press their case. It is true that without Chocolate and Vanilla around, this would have been a real problem, but that has nothing to do with before. You two have to go back home. Besides, it's not like I was going to ask you two to come work for me, okay?
そうですか。やっぱりダメですか。
Oh, the dramatic. Oh no. Her shoulders drooped along with her ears and tail. The enthusiasm she showed earlier had completely disappeared. She sighed deeply and looked disheartened.
装置でもしてきます。せっかくですし。
Still dejected, she trudged up to the second floor. Chocolate isn't a fool. I knew that she was going out of her way to help me with that energy of hers. That is why this wasn't something I could easily change my mind about. Even more so if she cared that much for me.
ご主人、私たちがいたらそんなに迷惑？悪い子？
She spoke in a small voice in her usual way. Vanilla tilted her head as she asked that question. You two aren't bad girls, and that's why I don't want you to be here.
悪い子じゃないのにダメなの？
It's because you two are good girls that I can't allow it. She blinked as she took in my words. It was almost as she was trying to peer inside my heart. She stared directly at me.
人って難しい。猫にはそういうのはわからない。好きならそばにいたい。少なくとも私はそう思うけど。
Vanilla.
チョコラのところ行ってくる。
With those words, she went upstairs. The small footsteps sounded far away before I long couldn't hear them anymore. People are hard to understand, huh? Inside the empty bakery, I repeated those words as she just said to me. Now that I think about it, it's inconsistent thinking, isn't it? Cats do not understand that. Having heard that said aloud, I began to understand what it really meant. Neko can enjoy many things by living a simple life, huh? I looked at the name of the bakery affixed through the window. With a bitter smile, I began to clean up the tea sets that had arrived earlier. Let's just say that the cup broke it by itself. Oh no.
あれ、今日はあのたこ焼き屋がいない。
Just like yesterday, we took a walk through the park at night. However, that food stand was nowhere to be found. Also, it just happened that no one was home on the day I decided to take the Neko home. I had also left behind the house key. That is why I made the use of time to do some shopping before Shigure got home.
ごめんバニラ。なんだっけ、また旅だっけ。だいたいそんな感じ。
That isn't the right word for her at all. Chocola, if you're tired, why don't we rest a bit?
はい、少しだけ。でも大丈夫ですから。心配かけてごめんなさい。
Oh, there's no need for you to apologize. She had an embarrassed smile on her face as she nodded. It was pretty clear why she wasn't in good spirits. That is why there was nothing that I could be said. Well, there happens to be a bench over there, so why don't we rest a bit?
じゃあ私、何か飲み物買ってくる。
Ah, thanks. Something for everyone, okay?
了解。任された。
I handed Vanilla some change and offered the bench to Chocola. Aww. The constant sea breeze rustled the trees in the park. Within the empty park, you could hear the quiet sounds of nature. I silently sat down next to the disheartened Chocola. Like a gently setting sun, time passed slowly.
ショコラ、帰ります。
Her voice was quiet enough that I almost couldn't hear her. Yet she answered clearly. Without saying a word, I responded by gently rubbing Chocola's head.
今にはご主人様に電話してもいいですか？
Uh-huh.
またご主人様のところに遊びに来てもいいですか？
Uh-huh.
ご主人様はショコラたちのことはちゃんと毎日思い出してくれますか？ショコラは離れててもご主人様って呼んでてもいいですか？
With a shaking voice, she wiped away her tears. Her voice cracked as she stifled her sobbing. She looked pained as she did her best to hold back her emotions. I did my best to hold back the irresponsible words that were about to leak out. Uh-huh, of course I will.
ご主人様、ごめんなさい。主人様。
I was irritated at myself for saying nothing. I was empty. I could only offer the condolence that could not be put into words. As much as I could, I gently rubbed Chocola's head.
やっぱりご主人様は優しいですね。
I don't think I'm being kind.
ご主人様、前も同じこと言ってましたから。
Before? Chocola closed her eyes and smiled.
覚えてますか？ショコラとバニラをご主人様としぐれちゃんが連れて帰ってくれた時のこと。
Ah, of course I remember that. It was a cold day half a year ago. Chocola and Vanilla were still young and couldn't even speak yet. They were huddled together crying by the roadside. It was the day that I picked up their small cold bodies and took them home. There was no way I could simply forget the important day of our family crew. In the beginning, you two didn't really get used to the things at
あの
home.
時は知らないお家で知らない人と猫ばっかりで怖くて。
You two didn't eat at all, which worried Shigure.
はい、とっても心配かけちゃいました。
As we talked about the past, I started to hear a bit of laughter in her
シ
voice.
ョコラとバニラが熱を出した時のことも。
Oh, I do remember that. It was a few days after we brought Chocolate and Vanilla home. Aww! They'd only occasionally drink a bit of water. As always, they didn't really touch their food. The combination of malnourishment and the cold weather had really weakened their bodies. When Chocolate and Vanilla have high fever, they were really in pain.
あの時は夜中で誰にも気づいてもらえなくて、とにかく苦しくて辛くて寂しくて声も出せなくて、手も足も全然動かなくて、助けて誰か助けてって思いながらただただ泣いてたんです。そしたら
It's alright. I'm with you too, so don't
ご主
worry.
人様が大きくてあったかい手でずっとそばで大丈夫大丈夫って言い続けてくれて、ショコラとバニラのこと朝になって病院に行くまでずっとそばにいてくれて、不安で心細かったのが全部嘘だったみたいに。あの時も同じこと言ってました。俺は別に優しくなんかないって。でもショコラたちはご主人様が助けてくれなかったらここにいなかったです。あの時ご主人様がそばにいてくれなかったら誰も信じられないままでした。ご主人様のおかげでご飯も食べれるようになりました。しぐれちゃんともみんなとも仲良くなりました。だからあの時からショコラのご主人様はご主人様になったんです。ショコラはそれからずっと優しいご主人様のことが大好きなんですよ。
Her eyes were filled with tears. They were filled with anxiety, sadness, and happiness. She smiled all she could before me.
だからショコラはご主人様がいなくなっちゃうって聞いて、いても立ってもいられなくて、どうしても一緒に行きたくて、しぐれちゃんにお願いをしたんです。
She said that with the faintest of smiles. Those words were gentle and warm, but there was also sadness and emptiness that could not be reached. Chocolat. I was the one she was saying this to, but the only thing I could say was her name.
お金のこととか難しいことはやっぱり猫にはわからないです。でもやっぱりショコラはご主人様のそばにいたいんです。ご主人様が辛くて大変そうなのなんとなくわかります。本当になんとなくですけど、お掃除でもお洗濯でもお料理でもショコラがお手伝いできることは何でもしますから。今すぐにはできなくても絶対にちゃんとできるようになりますから。だからもう一度だけショコラはご主人様と一緒にいたいんです。
Using her will to keep her tears from overflowing, Chocolat said those words clearly once again. Chocolat, if you could be with me. My inner thoughts were ready to overflow and engulf me. For me, so honestly yearn for that. For me to so innocently believe that there's no way I would be against it. That day, Chocolate and Vanilla became an important part of my family. If they were with me, these days would be bright and enjoyable. But it was selfish to leave home like that. I didn't want to get my important family wrapped up in my selfishness. And I have them experience any unnecessary hardship. You two are important to me after all.
私たちは猫だから自分に素直なだけ。
My inner conflict was disrupted by Vanilla. Vanilla had returned at some point, as she looked right at me as she stood at Chocolate's side.
私なら楽しいことならショコラと一緒がいい。たとえ辛いことでもショコラと一緒にいたいと思う。だって一緒にいれないことの方が寂しくて辛いから。
Vanilla.
本当に好きなら迷惑かけたって一緒にいたい。 それでも一緒にいたいものだと思う。私たちが幸せかどうかなんていくらご主人でも決めつけるのは違うと思うよ。それに大事な人が大変ならなおさらそばにいたい。何ができるかはわからないけど、でも辛い時にそばで励ますことくらいできるよ。
Her gentle nature was like the setting sun, a warm and soft smile. The uncharacteristic words from Vanilla were really penetrating my heart.
だからきっとしぐれも私たちがご主人のところについていくのを許してくれた。しぐれはご主人と一緒に行くことはできないから代わりにお願いって。だからご主人が本当にショコラのことを思うなら一緒にいるべきだと思う。
There was not even a faintest bit of hesitation. Those honest words went straight through me. Who am I to dictate Chocolate and Vanilla's happiness? That was the only thought in my otherwise empty mind. Those words continued to resonate in my head.
たとえ何不自由のない暮らしでもご主人様がいないのは嫌なんです。いくら大変でもショコラはご主人様と一緒にいたいんです。だからお願いします。ご主人様のそばにいさせてください。ここがショコラがいたい場所なんです。
On the verge of crying, she smiled, but Chocolate clearly smiled. It was nothing but pure, genuine words. People really are at loss for words when it comes to Neko, huh? Any reason to say no to those words was nowhere to be found.
ご主人様、それって
It won't be like back home. You can't just live here any way you like. You got it?
はい、大丈夫です。ご主人様がいるだけでショコラは幸せですから。やれやれついにご主人陥落。いやよいやよも好きのうち。
The teary moment seemed to be blown away by her brimming smile. Perhaps I just didn't believe in my family enough, huh? Thinking from their perspective, it was simply concept. It was still immature thought to me, though. When it came to honesty, perhaps Neko were more human than humans were. From here on, we need to do our best. Together.
毎晩大トロじゃなくて大丈夫です。たまにでいいです。お肉もA4でいい。松阪牛なら脂身最高。
That's all you two have been eating at home, isn't it? Even if the road ahead is uncertain, I lovingly rub their heads. Alright, why don't we head back to the shopping district then?
なんでですか？お買い物はもう終わったんですよね。
We have to go buy that shampoo you two like, don't we?
おお、ご主人かっこいい。ついでに松阪牛も買おう。
Well, today is a celebration, so why
や
not?
ったー！お祝いパーティーですね。ご主人太っ腹。さすがは私たちのご主人。
Just this once, okay? Together with happy and high-spirited Chocolate and Vanilla, this was to be the beginning to a bright new life and new step forward. Shush!
僕らの想いが溢れて優しいメロディー奏でた
So that was it, huh?
ネコパラボリューム1ソレイユ開店しました。
That was it. That was NEKOPARA 1 trial version. It was really cheery and happy-go-lucky because I've been playing so much Charon games with tsunderes and yanderes and freaking women killing their boyfriends and everything, so this was nice new wind to blow in this YouTube channel. I guess there is going to be a lot more hentai related things in the full version. That is just a hunch, but that was nice. I enjoyed playing it through, and it was really small, and I actually just looked that I cut the episodes in so wrong places. Like, I guess they're going to be too long as I don't know what I'm going to do, but I guess we'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the love and support, and I will see you on the next one. Yes. Bye guys.
Because my world's not big enough.